Hey everyone, welcome back. And if it's your first time here, just plain welcome. Doge has found a lot of weird stuff. I mean, just really troubling expenditures where our tax dollars are going insane places. And while I can acknowledge that it's a possibility that at least some of this money is going to turn out to have not been as badly squandered as it seems, there's some things that are going to raise red flags no matter how you cut it. For example, how about children 11 years old and younger? On almost 5,600 of them, in fact, getting Small Business Administration loans to the tune of $312 million. Now, that works out to an average of about $55,000 per loan. What the hell are kids 11 and younger doing getting loans for $55,000? What are they trying to do? Like nuclear powered lemonade stands? Like, holy shit. Girl Scout cookies got weird. I mean, I'm telling you. Now, look, kids getting into entrepreneurship at a young age, I'm here for it. All right. I think this is an amazing thing. It was much more common even before my day. It was starting to fade out. Lemonade stands were just not something we did. But a lot of us would take our lawnmowers and go around cutting people's grass for extra money. That's entrepreneurship. That's the very basic, right? And we did that. This was a normal thing. And I kind of hate that this is something a lot of kids lost. My kids didn't really get that. But these are simple things. You borrow your dad's lawnmower. You get a table and you get your mom to make some lemonade and you sell it in some glasses. It's not this. This isn't what happened. And this isn't the end of it, really. There was another 3,100 loans for a total of around $333 million that went to people age 115 or older, right? So apparently, more than $600 million, I think it works out to about nearly $650 million, actually, going to children and vampires. What the hell? All right. Now, these numbers are based on the Social Security numbers used to secure these loans. And I think I know what happened here. See, there's always been a bit of an issue where adults will sometimes, especially if they have like bad credit or something like that, they'll use the Social Security number of their child who has no credit history and use that to secure money, right? They'll use that Social Security number to get credit cards, car loans, and all these other things. If you do not actually look at the name associated with, you can get away with this. And you would think that someone at the Small Business Administration would look at, had some way to cross-reference this. And this is a loan. You would assume there's at least some level of a credit check. And they made these loans anyways. This is part of the problem. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that none of this was a coordinated effort to defraud the American taxpayers, right? This wasn't some, way to funnel money into certain pockets. Let's just say this was good old-fashioned fraud. This is something you'd think the Small Business Administration would be on the lookout for, because you've got to have a way to recoup the money. You've got to be able to go after people. You need that information. Why are you not checking it? Why are you not verifying the Social Security number involved? They even say that the names don't seem to match the Social Security numbers. So that's, this is what's happening. People are using bogus Social Security numbers. With 115-year-olds, that's likely also a case of, I'm going to use grandpa's Social Security number because he had really good credit before he died. Of course, let's not rule out the fact that this could be some kind of funnel into certain parties' pocket. What irks me about this whole thing, the part about this that I find so infuriating, is if you've ever tried to turn to the government for help starting a business or keeping your business going, it's not exactly an easy thing. It's not something you just walk in and go, I'd really like a loan, or I'd like a grant to keep my business afloat. And they just open up a vault and say, is this enough? That's not how it works. You jump through all these hoops, you fill out all these applications, and it's taxpayer money. As infuriating as it may be to have to jump through those hoops, it should be at least a little understandable that they're trying to be good stewards of taxpayer money. And with something like a loan, obviously you loan the money out and you want to get a return on that investment. Even if it's zero interest, you still want to be able to hold on to that money so that you can loan it to someone else. And there's an argument to be made that this is a valid function of the government simply because it stimulates the economy. More businesses means more employment, means more tax base. People don't have to pay as much in taxes to get much more done, right? We can afford a stronger national defense. We can do a lot of other things. That argument can be made. I don't entirely agree with it, but I can see the argument, right? But they're just loaning this out. And I'm not seeing where it's being paid back. That's kind of an issue. That's where we are. All right, this is where we are right here, right now. Oh, Jesus. I mean, guys, honestly, I've got to. What the hell? What the hell? Right, this is 2/3 of $1 billion going to people who are not able to actually start businesses. Now, I'm not saying there's no 115-year-olds running around. It can happen. We're getting, some people live good, long lives. I think I remember seeing something about the oldest Holocaust survivor dying at like 116, maybe, which I thought was the most gangster move ever, Oh, you want to exterminate me and my people? I'm going to live to be older than any of you bitches. Hats off to her. All right. And yes, before someone mentions it, yes, I'm bald. Get over it. But this is, she wasn't starting a business at 115, right? Why would you make a small business loan to somebody who's 115? They're not going to live long enough to pay it back. I know that's ageism, but Jesus Christ, I use some common sense. And everything I've ever seen from the Small Business Administration, you got to have like your business plan. You got to show that you have a means, that you're actually, you've got a plan to pay this money back. And I don't see how this would have flown with somebody whose social security number says they're 115 freaking years old. Holy shit, people. Even if this was just regular pedestrian fraud, how are we letting this much fraud go on? How are we letting this much money go out the door to people we don't even have valid social security numbers for? What the hell? Right? You want to know why Doge is digging through everyone's freaking laundry? You want to know why they're looking at everything and everything's being shut down? Because presidency after presidency, Congress after Congress has let this insane shit go on with absolutely no desire to address it. Right? You couple this level of fraud with the fact that we were paying for gay operas in South America, and you've got to realize at some point this is unsustainable. This is not the place of the American people to fund. And now you've got 2/3 of $1 billion going out the door to people who use social security numbers of children and people too old to start a business. This is insane. And this is just the obvious stuff. How many other millions of dollars were used or were given to people who use bogus social security numbers for people who are at least in a decent normal age category, right? How many use social security numbers of dead people who hadn't been removed from the social security list for whatever reason, and they're just using that social security number to get tens of thousands of dollars in Small Business Administration loans that they're probably never going to pay back? Because I promise you, if somebody intends to pay it back, they're probably not going to obtain it under fraudulent circumstances. It's just absolutely insane. But I've talked about this insanity enough. I want to know what you think. Am I reading too much into this, or is this as bad as, what I'm thinking? Go down in the comments, let me know. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that stuff. Everything you do, it's a big benefit. Share the video anywhere you think it might be appropriate. And you'll get a big thanks from me. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up, and I will see you all in the next video.